We are back on Sunday Sports Extra, and we are joined by our friend Mario Aguirre of The Monitor. Thanks for joining us, Mario.
Thanks, sir.
Hey, he is the beat reporter for District 31 5A, and there were some big games in that district last week. On Thursday night, it was a big one as Mission Veterans was looking to clinch a playoff spot and get ready for a big game this week against Vela. But first, they had to get past the Pioneer Diamondbacks. Landry Gilpin with some nifty moves, the freshman quarterback who had to take over when Diego Hernandez went out for the season. Gilpin did have some problems, a couple of interceptions in this game by the Pioneer Diamondbacks, but the Mission Veterans defense kept Pioneer and their offense off the board, and Gilpin was hooking up with one of his top receivers, Bobby Tovar, right there. Mission Veterans wins. They clinch their playoff spot, but now they have to get ready for the unbeaten and undefeated SaberCats.
We win the football game, we can call ourselves champion. And at the beginning of every season, we're talking about putting gold balls in the trophy case. We have an opportunity now. So next Thursday night's going to, be a big one for our program, and we know what we're going against. Edinburgh Vela's a heck of a ball club. They're 9-0 for a reason, and we know that. But, like I always say, we'll show up at 7 o'clock next Thursday.
All right, obviously that was Mission Veterans versus Rio Grande City. That one out at Sanchez Stadium. Sanchez Stadium is where you were, Mario. Your thoughts on what Mission Veterans was able to do down to their third-string quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, they've been able to do a good job with Landry Gilpin. They're under center. He's done a really good job finding his receivers. He's had pretty good rapport with them, and he's been able to carry them to a 4-game win streak up until this point. Even though Rio Grande City is big up front, strong defense, they still were able to kind of push through, and penalties also hurt Rio Grande City in the third quarter.
Yeah, Joe, how much does it help Landry Gilpin to have guys like Roman De Leon, Bobby Tovar, those guys, those experienced receivers who he can throw to?
It helps a bunch because what you can do is you can let loose a throw that isn't exactly the best pass in the world and still have a guy that go make a play for you. I mean, Terry Bradshaw made a living out of that, did he not, with Lynn Swan and his gang? But yeah, it's what it does for a freshman quarterback. It allows you to still attempt the big plays and then let your playmakers go out and make you look even better.
All right, well, they're going to need those playmakers this week as they try to get a share of a district title against an Edinburgh Vela team that has not been beaten yet this year. What will Vela bring to the table? How much do they want to win this game? And who is your pick to win it, Mario?
I have Edinburgh Vela in this game. I predicted before the season that they wouldn't lose a regular season game. I just think they have too much firepower. There were some games where some players didn't play, but they still had enough to win pretty convincingly, so I have Edinburgh Vela in this game.
All right, Joe, your thoughts?
Mission Vets is going to play extremely hard. They're going to make this exciting. If Vela doesn't rest everyone, which could come into play, I think Vela's going to win this football game. Too much firepower.
Yeah, way too much firepower, I believe, as well. And a battle of two defenses that are kind of overlooked here. I think Vela's brings the most to the table here, though Mission Veterans has definitely shown us something this season. Meanwhile, how about those Roma Gladiators? After 20-some years without making the playoffs at all, now Roma is in the playoffs for the second straight year, as they were the team that took on Pioneer this last week. And it wasn't much to talk about in terms of flash and dash. Andy Marroquin, 1 yard. Andy Marroquin, 1 yard. Here's Andy Marroquin with actually, I forgot, they had their running back as well, did Roma. So now Roma back-to-back playoffs. Coach Halbecker talked about getting there again.
I think we're peaking at the right time. We still have things to adjust, and I'm actually glad it happened because it keeps our feet on the ground. It keeps us humble and focused in practice. Not necessarily thinking that we're better than what we really are. Those type of mistakes that we made tonight that kind of kept them in the game. I'm upset that it happened, but it's also good for us that it happened tonight, so we can learn from it and move forward.
Yeah. But do you think your team is playoff ready?
No doubt.
He says no doubt, and this is the way it looks with Edinburgh Vela and Mission Veterans still looking to see who's going to be the champion there, while Roma and Sherryland are in as well. So this week we've got Vela at Mission Veterans on Thursday, Valley View at Roma, Rio Grande City at Sherryland. Also, let's take a look at the 5A playoff picture, as it looks like it's going to be Donna versus the Vela Veterans loser, Porter versus the Vela Veterans winner, Mercedes versus either Sherryland or Roma, most likely Sherryland, Ed Couch Elsa versus either Roma or Sherryland, most likely Roma. So the way that playoff picture rolls out there, how do you think 31-5A stacks up with 32-5A?
Last year they swept, and I expect the same thing this time around. It won't be as easy, though. I know Roma is going to have a tough battle, probably against Ed Couch Elsa. You have Mission Veterans and Donna, a repeat of last season. I think it'll be tough all the way through, but I'm convinced that 31-5A could squeak by.
What are your thoughts on 31 versus 32 in the 5A ranks, Joe?
Well, I think 31 5A is the more talented group, top to bottom. But one more note on that Vela Veterans game: the winner of that not only gets to play Porter in the first round, but they do not have to play Victoria West in the second round. And that's why you're going to play all out to win that game. You don't want to be that team that finishes second in this district.
That's assuming Gregory Portland wins out up north, which is probably going to happen. If it doesn't happen, then that could throw everything into disarray. All right, we are coming right back on Sunday Sports Extra. When we come back, we're going to talk about more of the final week of the regular season and how it will affect the first week. We're going to see about crowning those kings as McCallum Memorial takes the district title outright. And how about those underdogs from Juarez Lincoln? Husky Power, it's next.